Can Muhammad be in contradiction to the message of Jesus who came before him?
I'll say it again to you. It's Allah who's confirming the previous prophets. Muhammad never makes such a claim. That's it. No, Muhammad doesn't have to follow the teachings of Jesus.
So
no.
Yes, he can contradict what Jesus taught?
Yes, I'm
gonna ask you, have you seen all the drama that's been going on, bro?
I don't do drama, mate.
That's good. You haven't seen the stuff with me and hijab?
Yeah, the copyright thing. Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, you've never copyright struck me when I've come to your lives and like posted this stuff on my channel. I've never had to ask you that.
Yeah.
You think it's weird?
People are different. I don't. People are people, man. People do what people do. I'm not bothered.
That's true. All right. Well, I'll tell you why I believe. Oh, go ahead.
Before you do, let's clarify something else.
Sure.
The last time I was on your show, you mute and kick me.
Did I mute and kick you? Eventually, yes.
Carry on.
Wait, what was that for?
Because people think I ran away. People think I left. People think I'm the one who left the stream when I didn't. But anyway,
you wanted to get kicked. You made me do that on purpose.
I wanted to get kicked rather than explain myself. You muted me, so
yes.
I couldn't speak, and then you kicked me.
That's because you were talking over me and you wouldn't let me talk, and I was trying to answer you, and you wouldn't even engage, bro.
No, you brought out a red herring that had nothing to do with the conversation. You thought
not
you did,
true.
But it was nothing to do with the conversation.
It's not true, Hamza.
Would you like to run it again? Let's run it again, no problem. Okay, so my question to you was it problematic if Paul was teaching something that different to the disciples of Jesus, yeah?
Yeah, you said, because we were comparing Paul and Muhammad, and you were saying that what makes Paul a liar is that he contradicted the teachings of Jesus and the apostles. So then I asked you, okay, so whoever contradicts the teachings of Paul's and the apostles and Jesus, that they're a false messenger. You said yes. And then I asked, okay, cool. Right. So was Muhammad in line with the apostles and Jesus? And that's when you evaded the question.
No, that's where you muted me.
No.
Okay, so I'll respond now. It's not a problem. Okay. So if somebody claims to be following the teachings of Jesus, yeah, like Paul was claiming it, and the disciples of Jesus obviously were claiming it, but the Prophet Muhammad wasn't claiming that.
Yes, he was.
Okay, so he wasn't. Where does the Prophet claim to follow the teachings of Jesus?
He says that he came confirming the teaching of Jesus and that he was upon the same religion as the prophets before him.
Where did he say that he's being told what to say and do by Jesus?
Well, that's not what this is limited to. If he's saying that look, if he's saying that he is confirming the message of Jesus, that means that he cannot be contradictory to the message of Jesus. Wouldn't you agree?
No, that's not what he's doing, and that's not what he's saying. Okay, Muhammad, peace be upon him, never ever claimed to be following the teachings of Jesus. He could confirm, well, Allah, should I say, confirms that Jesus before him was a messenger sent by him, but nowhere does Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, make the claim he's receiving information from Jesus, he's receiving revelation from Jesus. But Paul makes that claim. Okay, so Muhammad doesn't make that claim. So then you can't bring into a conversation with regards following the teachings of Jesus, because Muhammad never claimed to.
I disagree. So if you are in confirmation, when the Quran says that it is in confirmation, it's a confirmation of the scriptures that came before and of Jesus. No, this is relevant, Hamza. Let me tell you why it's relevant. Okay. No. Yes, please. Let me just tell you why it's relevant. If he's saying that he is coming, confirming the message of Jesus, can he be in any way contradictory to the message of Jesus?
Okay, understand something. The teachings of Jesus was different to the teachings of Moses.
Was it contradictory?
To the teachings of Abraham. Okay, it's that each had their own Sharia. See, what you're doing is trying to do an internal critique on my position. Yeah, from our position, Muhammad never made the claim he's following the teachings of Jesus. Paul made the claim. So why didn't you address the claim I said? Why do you? If Paul is not following the teachings of Jesus, then he's unreliable based upon the teachings of the disciples. Yes or no? If he's not.
No, Hamza. No, to answer your question straight away, no, I disagree with you right here. But Hamza, you didn't answer. I'm about to tell you. You didn't answer what I just asked you. Okay, I asked you if the Quran is saying, because I know you believe it's from Allah, but Muhammad is the one reciting that. If Muhammad is claiming to be a confirmation. No, it's not. If Muhammad's claiming to be
That's
a
your problem.
confirmation of the previous scriptures, can he in any way be contradictory to the teachings of Jesus?
I'll say it again. Allah is the one who's confirming what came before. Allah is the one who's confirming Isa al-Masih. Allah is. Muhammad is just revealing what what Allah's telling him. Okay, in our position. Okay, so I'll say it again to you. Muhammad never makes the claim he's following the teachings of Jesus. Never.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's not an answer.
He's received. One second.
Right.
He never makes the claim that he receives revelation from Jesus. Never. Okay. Paul does. Paul does make this claim that he's receiving revelation, that he saw him on the road to Damascus and then for 10 years received revelation from Jesus. So he's making this claim. The disciples of Jesus who walk with Jesus, of course, make the claim they're following the teachings of Jesus. So if there's a contradiction between those two people who are both making the same claim, that's why it makes it problematic. Muhammad doesn't follow the teachings of Jesus, never claimed to.
Okay, so Paul making the claim that he follows the teachings of Jesus. If he contradicts the teachings of Jesus, he would be false. I agree with that. Now, I need you to answer what I'm asking you. Hamza, notice how you're cutting me off, dude. Come on, man. You got to let me get it out.
I just answered you.
No, you didn't. You did not answer. All you did was say, well, he never made the claim that he's following the teachings of Jesus, so this is not applying. That's not what I asked you.
I'll say it again to you.
No, don't say that again. Let me just ask my question again, please.
Go ask your question.
Okay. So my question is, when so you're saying it's Allah, I don't believe that. Muhammad is the prophet. No worries. Muhammad is the prophet of Islam, and he's making the claim that he's coming, confirming the message of the prophets before him. So my question is, can Muhammad be in contradiction to the message of Jesus who came before him?
I'll say it again to you. It's Allah who's confirming the previous prophets. Muhammad never makes such a claim. That's it. No, Muhammad doesn't have to follow the teachings of Jesus.
So yes, he can contradict what Jesus taught?
Yes. Did Jesus teach the Hajj? Did Jesus teach the Hajj? It's not contradiction.
That's not a contradiction. That's not contradictory. What I'm saying is,
what are you talking about?
Yeah, so the message of Jesus, the message that Jesus, I'll let you go ahead.
Anyway,
the message that Jesus, the message that Jesus preaches.
Listen.
Can Muhammad contradict it?
Listen, I've responded. Okay.
No, you didn't. You didn't respond.
I did. Okay. Now respond to Paul teaching something different to the disciples of Jesus.
Bro, you didn't respond. We're holding look. This is not going to be unbalanced scales. I agree with you. Look, hear me out.
No.
I agree with you. Listen. Let me get it out. I agree with you that if Paul contradicted the message of Jesus and the apostles, then Paul would be a false teacher. And so that's what I'm at. And so hold on a second, because that's only one side of the coin. The other side of the coin. Well, hold on, because this is what you said. You said that anyone who contradicts the message of Jesus and the apostles is a false messenger. That would go with Muhammad too.
No, it wouldn't.
So Muhammad can contradict Jesus and be a true messenger?
Okay, I'll say it again to you. Does Muhammad claim to be following the teachings of Jesus like Paul and the disciples?
He claimed. Yes,
no.
he not.
He doesn't.
Look, I can grant you that not in their way, but he does claim to be still follow the message of the prophets, that he's in line with them.
He doesn't say he's following the teachings of Jesus.
If he says
Paul does.
Okay, if he says that he is confirming the message of Jesus, does that mean that he's in line with what Jesus taught? You
keep acting like it's Muhammad writing the Quran. Allah can talk about the previous revelations and the previous prophets. Okay. The point here is this. The point here is this. Muhammad doesn't make the claim that what he's telling you is what Jesus told him to say. Muhammad isn't doing that.
Do you
Paul is.
But you're still not answering the question. Can you agree that Muhammad makes the claim to be a prophet of Allah?
Please forget this. Okay, let's just answer the question.
See that?
Let's just answer the question that's here.
All right.
Why do you believe Christianity is true? Let's just roll with it.
Sure. I'll let you off the hook on this one, because this was bad.
There's no letting me off no hook, mate.
Okay.
Let me off nothing.
I did. I let you off the hook, man. You got to thank me.
No, you didn't.
Okay. Why do I believe Christianity is true? I believe that Christianity is true. One of the big reasons for me is prophecy fulfilled. So I love Isaiah 53 and how it predicts what happened to Jesus on the cross. And I think that that is undeniable and irrefutable. So prophecy with Isaiah 53 describing what happens to Jesus, I believe, is demonstrates that Christianity is true.
So the prophecy, how does that prove Christianity is true?
Well, you would agree that prophecy would be revelation of God, right?
How does that prove Jesus resurrected?
Because it talks about his resurrection in Isaiah 53, or prophesies it. It says that his days will be prolonged after he died.
He said he sees his children, mate.
Yes, he will see seed, his children, his metaphorical children, spiritual children.
Since when does that word refer to spiritual children?
And if you go to Isaiah 57, verse 4, it talks about children of deceit. And so obviously that's children. Like deceit doesn't have literal kids.
No, but when it's talking about a human being having children.
Yeah, it could be metaphorical or physical.
According to the Jews, okay, why do you believe your understanding of Isaiah is correct rather than the Jewish understanding of Isaiah?
Because it's fulfilled prophecy, and their understanding. You know, if it depends on who you ask it. And if you're asking early Jews, like in the Targums, like Targum Jonathan says that it's about the Messiah. So
what? It about Israel.
No, Targum Jonathan says that it's about. So the Targums are like Second Temple, a Jewish interpretation of the scriptures. And so in Targum Jonathan on Isaiah, on the suffering servant passage, it says it's about the Messiah.
If I speak to any Jew, they'll say the suffering servant's Israel.
That's not true. If you speak to a Messianic Jew, they'll say that the suffering servant is the Messiah.
Okay, if we speak to Tovia Singer, he'll tell you that it's Israel. If we speak to Josh the Jew from Speaker's Corner, he'll tell you that. Every Jew I've ever asked about this question as to what is referred to in Isaiah 53, they always say it's Israel.
Yeah, they're wrong because
anyway,
if you ask Radar Apologetics, Eduardo, he's a Messianic rabbi, he'd tell you that it's about the Messiah.
Yeah, so it's not necessarily concrete, is it?
It is
differences of opinion with regard. Not really. What if you're wrong?
No. So like Hamza, that's like me saying if I go to a Quran only Muslim and say does the Quran teach to follow the Hadith? They'll obviously say no. But you ask Sunnis, they'll say no. Yeah, the Quran clearly says go to the Hadith. So that would that mean that that's not definitive? You wouldn't say that.
Okay. So Isaiah 53 is the reason you're a Christian. You believe Jesus died for your sins and such, yeah?
Yeah. The prophetic revelation behind it. So meaning God actually spoke and revealed this, and it happened, and so that's why it demonstrates that Christianity is true.
Why do you believe Jesus? Why do you believe Jesus had to be crucified?
Well, because that's what God said he would do. God said in Isaiah 53 that he will crush the suffering servant, his Messiah, and for the sins of the people.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is God had to do this to forgive sins.
What I'm saying is that this was God's plan. What I'm saying is that this was God's plan to have an ultimate sacrifice to forgive all sins, that all have an access to eternal life. And so the fact that Isaiah 53 prophesizes this, the fact that this is revelation, shows that this is true. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, if you want to take from that your interpretation that you choose to understand it as, and then you go to the Gospels and you read what happens there, where do you get this idea that it's the final atonement for sin? And this, why is blood necessary?
Isaiah 53. Well, that's
why is blood necessary to forgive sin? Yeah.
That's a different question. Like, so first, because you're kind of dismissing what I'm saying because you're saying there's other interpretations that disagree with me.
I can't look. If you're saying that's how you understand Isaiah 53, yeah, that's how you understand it. Okay, so now I'm trying to conclude it to understand. So you see a prophecy, you go to the Gospels, you see what Paul says or whatever it may be, and you come to the conclusion that Jesus was the final sacrifice. So, what is that? The end of animal sacrifice, or what does it mean?
Well, so if you're trying to conclude, would you agree that I have a good reason to believe in Christianity since this is a prophecy about the Messiah?
I'm pretty sure someone could argue against you on Isaiah 53. I'm pretty sure.
With what arguments?
I don't know. Let's see. 1 second. I think Cora's here. She might be able to answer.
Oh, Cora?
Yeah, I think Cora was about. Yeah, she might, because they deal more in this type of thing than I.
Okay, so
but
would you say that I have at least from where you stand now, does it look like I at least have a good case if this is prophecy and it's looking like it's about Jesus, that Christianity's true?
I don't. I don't, because I think the Gospels is full of self-fulfilling prophecy. So I feel that the authors of the Gospels have manipulated history to look like it's fulfilling something that may have been prophesied. So,
but what? But on what? Like, why? Like, what is your evidence for that case?
Okay, there's many cases. Let's say
this one specifically,
King Herod killing the babies in Bethlehem, for example.
No, but I'm talking about specifically Isaiah 53. Like, how
No.
is it that they're matching these details on purpose to, like, how are
no. What I'm saying to you is, if there's evidence of the authors of the Gospels manipulating the text to act like prophecies being fulfilled and manipulating history to behave like prophecies being fulfilled, then it's problematic to listen to trust what they're saying is reliable or not. Because as soon as your authors of your Gospels have been shown and demonstrated that they will lie and invent history, and that they will manipulate prophecy to try to fit this invented history, you've got a problem with prophecy.
I would disagree, because, like, let's even grant this assertion that the gospel writers have manipulated details to seem like it's matching prophecy of old. How would that follow that in this case that's what they did?
No. Because we can't trust the gospel writers, then
it's not true.
Because, like I said, it's true. Of course, it's true. If it's not reliable, the author is not reliable to recall history correctly and to use prophecy correctly. It's very easy to see what's been prophesied, create some kind of fake history, and then say, "Yeah, look, it fulfilled it." Yeah, this is self-fulfilling prophecy. Okay, once you realize the authors of Gospels are doing that, you got a problem.
Yeah. So again, even if I were to grant the assertion that there are a couple times that the authors have done this, that doesn't follow that this was this case. You have to prove that. And so,
okay.
Yeah, so you're saying that if the gospel authors lied in one place, that means that they're liars in all cases. Or you got reason to believe that. It's like this. I'm pretty sure you heard of Haf's the Haf's argument before, right? How he's known to be a liar with hadith, but you guys trust him with the Quran. Would that mean that you can't trust his recitation of the Quran since he was a liar?
Okay, I'll say it again. If the authors of the Gospels are creating false history to fake fulfill prophecy, it's problematic.
You got to be consistent, is what I'm saying. Would you reject Haf's reading of the Quran since he's known to be a liar of hadith?
You got this habit of just throwing your things under the bus to try to attack Islam. Relax,
I'm not. I don't think that this is an issue.
The Christians need. So you don't think it's an issue? The authors of the Gospels are not reliable. That's not a problem for you.
No, I'm saying you're wrong about this, but with your assertion, you have to be consistent.
Shall I evidence it?
No, yes. So what I'm saying is Hamza, is that even if I were to grant you this false assertion that the apostles doctored up details to make it look like a prophecy, you would have to come on, man. Please let me land. You're going to have to show that this was the case here with Isaiah 53. But you're saying, oh, well, if they've done it elsewhere, then that means that they're not trustworthy anywhere. So would you have that same thinking when it comes to Hafs, who is known to be untrustworthy with hadith, but you trust him with the most recited version of the Quran, the Hafs Quran? Would you have that same consistency?
Right. I never said the apostles were the ones who lied and invented. I said the authors of the Gospels. I'm pretty sure you don't believe the authors of the Gospels were apostles, do you?
Yes, I do. And so I believe Matthew was an apostle. I believe John was an apostle. I believe that the Gospels are apostolic. So the apostles that are, or let's even go with gospel authors. You're saying that these authors are untrustworthy in certain areas, so therefore we can't trust them when they're recording the crucifixion event, and it matches exactly up with what Isaiah 53 says. So I'm saying, if you're going to be consistent, would you then throw away? Would you throw away Haf's recitation of the Quran because he's known to be a liar?
Look. Don't worry about Islam. Okay.
Come
so
on,
if the,
dog.
so the
Come
authors of the
on.
Gospels, if the authors of the Gospels were, like I said, manufacturing history to create prophecy, yeah, I've already had a conversation with you. You concede that you didn't really concede, but the Bible is corrupt. You believe that, don't you? The New Testament is corrupt, obviously.
You know I don't.
You
know I don't.
No. You don't believe the New Testament is corrupt?
No, I don't. Which is a why one of the evidences that it's not corrupt is the fulfilled prophecy of Isaiah 53. Why are you're trying to get away from this, man?
No. Let's understand something. You don't believe the New Testament is corrupt?
How many times we got to say it? I don't believe the New Testament is corrupt.
Okay.
Muhammad didn't believe the New Testament is corrupt. No.
How do you understand the word corruption of a text?
You're switching the subject, Hamza.
No, I'm on point here. Why? Because I premised it that believing that the New Testament, the Gospels, are not reliable, as they've been corrupted. What you have today has been corrupted from its original source, potentially. Yeah.
That's fine and all.
Well, you're denying that. So
yeah,
you're denying that.
Of course, but that's another red herring.
Okay, well, let's evidence that. Yeah?
No, not right now. That's not the topic.
Okay, the authors of the Gospels were not disciples of Jesus. Mark wasn't a disciple of Jesus. He wasn't an eyewitness.
Okay, fine. So who cares? The point is that they record the crucifixion of it that matches exactly what Isaiah 53 prophesied. What is your response to that?
No. I'll say it again to you. You don't care whether or not the authors of the Gospels are inventing history and creating self-fulfilling prophecy.
Prove it. Prove that they invented this history about in regards to Isaiah 53.
It's only your interpretation of Isaiah 53.
Prove that I'm wrong.
Based upon just evidencing. If the authors of the Gospels are manipulating the text, yeah, we just evidence. This is what we're evidencing.
Prove it.
You only know what happened at the crucifixion. You only know what happened at the crucifixion because the authors of the Gospels tell you.
Okay.
If they're not reliable, how can you know what happened?
Okay, prove that the Gospel authors made up this story that just so happens to match up exactly with Isaiah 53. Prove that they doctored that to match that. What's your evidence?
Okay, I'll say it again. So you accept that the authors of the Gospels were doing that, yeah?
No. Well, okay.
All right,
wait. Let me ask you this.
Demonstrate they were.
No, because I do not care about red herrings. I care about what I'm talking about. Let me ask you this: do you agree that at least on a surface level reading, that when you look at Isaiah 53, that it matches up with the crucifixion event of Jesus in the gospel accounts?
Do you believe Jesus was ugly? That no one wants.
It doesn't say he wasn't ugly. It doesn't say he was ugly, but it does say that he wasn't special to look at. He wasn't special to look at.
Well, Isaiah 53.
Yeah, he wasn't special to look at. He had no appearance that we should desire him. So what?
One second. Who has believed our message? So let's see where the Jews believe this is Israel as well.
I don't care.
Who has believed our message, and to whom has the arm of the Lord?
Well, yeah, keep going. Sorry, keep going.
Okay. To whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed? He grew up before him like a tender shoot, like a root out of dry ground. He had no beauty or majesty to attract us to him, nothing in his appearance that we should desire him. He was despised and rejected by mankind, a man of suffering and familiar with pain, like one whom people hide their faces. He was despised and we held him in low esteem.
Mm-hmm.
Who's God talking about?
She's talking about the Messiah. And this is Isaiah speaking, by the way.
Yeah, so God is speaking through the prophet, isn't he?
Well, Isaiah, it's a revelation that Isaiah received from God, sure, but it's not like the verbatim speech of God necessarily, you know?
Yeah, it's not.
No, it's just a revelation that God gave to Isaiah.
He was oppressed and afflicted. He didn't open his mouth. This is the part you like, isn't it? He was led like a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before its shearers. So he didn't open his mouth. By oppression and judgment he was taken away. Yet who of his generation protested? Okay, a few. For he was cut off from the land of the living. For the transgression of my people, he was punished.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
See, my people is Israel. Israel's being saved.
Isaiah. Right. He was assigned a grave with the wicked. Was he?
Yes.
He signed a grave with the wicked?
Yeah, he was crucified with 2 thieves and died a criminal's death.
Well, no, he died according to what you believe. Yes, my sister.
Yesterday, I am
So he was what? A thief's death.
He died a criminal's death. He died being crucified is a criminal's death, and he was crucified with 2 thieves.
1 second. No, that's not who. You didn't have to be a criminal to be crucified.
Yes.
Well, according to the Roman.
It's a criminal's death.
The Roman. Okay, a criminal is not somebody who breaks the law, is it? The Romans,
What?
they crucified traitors. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
crucifixion.
To be a traitor would be a breaking the law. That's treason.
No, it would be rebelling against Caesar.
Right. That's breaking the law. That's a criminal. That's a crime.
So anyway, listen. So he was assigned a grave with the wicked, but he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
And with the rich in his death, though he had done no violence, nor any deceit in his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Yet it was the Lord's will to crush him and cause him to suffer. And though the Lord makes his life an offering for sin, he will see his offspring. He will see his offspring and prolong his days.
Mm-hmm. You see how he will see his offspring, meaning he will see those who followed him, and his days will be prolonged after he was crushed.
No, that's what you're saying. That's what you're saying.
That's what it says.
No. Well, no, the word doesn't say that. It's same price. You can just swap it over. Yeah. I'll be honest, I've not really done an eisegesis or exegesis on this particular passage, so.
Sure. But can you see where I'm coming from, though? At least
I'm doing it as we go. I'm doing it as we go.
Yeah, I don't mind us reading through this and like breaking it down and showing you why I believe this. You know?
No. I would have to go away to break this down to understand it.
Why? Why can't we do it here?
Because I don't do things on the fly, and I don't do ad hoc response either, which I feel like I'm being pushed into ad hoc response, and I hate ad hoc response from anyone. So the last thing I'm going to do is ad hoc it.
Right? No. So Hamza, what I'm saying is I'm not trying to push you or challenge you necessarily on this, but I don't mind going through it.
Yeah. But, the thing with me, I don't roll this way. If I've not done an exegesis or really looked into it, then I don't start giving. And you're bringing this as your evidence, so this is your reason.
Yes.
For believing that this is referring to. 1 second,
yes.
I think Libiano's here, because I know he knows this.
I don't talk to him.
Would you mind if Libiano?
I definitely. I don't talk to him. He's blacklisted from me. He cursed my wife, slandered my wife on the internet. I don't talk to guys like that. And I think that you would understand if a guy is going on the internet slandering your wife and doing all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
No, okay. So, well, no disrespect. Your people who follow you are flipping animals, mate.
I'm not going to joke. That's fine. That's different from going on and slandering someone's wife.
Yeah. Anyway, actually, I'm thinking. Do you want to debate me on Paul? The reliability of Paul. I'm thinking we should do it.
Yeah, I'm down for that. When you want to?
I've been considering it, thinking because I was going to write my book first, and I'm thinking maybe debating you on it will help me write the book.
Sure. Yeah. We could just let me know, man, when you want to schedule it, and we can prepare. And do you have a particular platform that you want to do it on? Does it matter?
Just then, like, you can stream it to your platform. I have it on my platform. It doesn't really matter.
Wait,
we'll get a moderator.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll get a fair moderator, no problem. And like I say, you can stream it. I can stream it. It's not a problem.
Cool.
See, here's the thing. See what people in the chat don't realize. Like, they think I'm running from this. No, it's not how I roll. I like to understand things. Yeah. But the debate about Paul, yeah, definitely, I think we should make that happen, because I think without Paul there is no Christianity. So we'll just work out the title. That's all.
Yeah. Hit me up and we'll talk about it for sure. I'm down for that.
All right.
All right. Peace.
Take care.